Hello, my name is Brian Bernard. Welcome to the SAP Samples Spotlight. In these short segments, we look at some of the most interesting and useful projects in the SAP Samples organization on github.com. Today, we are joined by developer advocate DJ Adams.
Hi.
And Chris Hagi, an evangelist and solution advisor for data and analytics at SAP. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, this is really a super interesting repo. I've been having a browse through it, and it appears to me that there's a lot more than even meets the eye here on this README. So this is the SAP Samples BTP Showcase-actuals-cap. Okay, so it gives us a bit of a clue as to what it's all about. And I'm also going to point out before I, ask you the actual first question, Chris, this is actually part of a much bigger picture in terms of resources for developers, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's correct. So we developed a very complete with 7 steps blog, which demonstrates an end-to-end project, how you develop since populating database, then creating CAP project to expose database as OData services and consume this in the end in SAP Analytics Cloud.
Gotcha. So this repo, as we can see, I mean, we'll look at maybe a little bit of the detail a little bit further on in this spotlight episode, but I can see already the sort of the cap antennae in my brain are already saying, hey, there's some cap resources here. We got MTA YAML, we got a serve directory, we got a DB directory. So that's already quite exciting for me. But before we go any further then, so this, if we have, in fact, shall we have a quick open up of this SAP BTP Showcase end-to-end demo? That's you there. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. I love the reference to Heraclitus. The vague or the obscure I think he's called, isn't he? Anyway, so this blog post goes hand in hand with the repo, right? But you also mentioned, just before we started recording, you mentioned a video, which is also part of this.
Yes, if you go to step 2 in this blog, you see that there is a video which drives the developer step by step about how to create something equivalent to what is in this GitHub repository. Is this blog 2? You can see on top of the page. And in the end of this is exactly the blog that is attached to that GitHub repository. And in the end of this blog, you can see that there is a video which can drives you also to develop this same coding that we have available for you to download and deploy.
Fantastic. And in fact, I just jumped straight to the end of this page and I saw there was loads of comments already. So there's a lot of interest in this I can see so far. So this video, half an hour video, takes us through a lot of the stuff that includes the use of this GitHub repo, right?
Correct. That's correct.
So looking at the repo, there's a number of requirements because the whole idea is that actually you're gluing a lot of different things together. You mentioned that you're going to be using CAP to expose data from somewhere. I think you're also showing how this data can be loaded from elsewhere and then exposing using CAP to SAP Analytics Cloud, right? Can you just take us through, build a picture in our minds of what that's all about?
Sure, the idea is pretty simple. Data House Cloud is developed on top of SAP HANA Cloud's platform technology. So the idea is to access Data House Cloud's objects and create CAP projects that leverage this content and even publish Data House Cloud's content as an OData service. And for that, we need exactly this CAP project with this code for exposing this content to any tool, for example, SAP Analytics Cloud.
Gotcha. So what we're actually saying is that we're using CAP here, the Cloud Application Programming Model, as a way to almost like make available, provision data that was in the Data Warehouse Cloud as an OData service so that it can be consumed by something else, right? And in this case, SAP Analytics Cloud.
Correct, exactly that. This
Cool.
is one of the demands that many companies have in the market, and then we made this concrete in this example.
This is brilliant because I mean there's a lot of things going on here generally in this scenario. So what you're saying here is we've got a breakdown of doing all this stuff. So you've got the documentation, which is where we're at now. But if we just have a quick browse through what we're talking about here, is that this assumes that the readers are set up already a data warehouse cloud. They've got a business technology platform trial account, right? And they've got an SAP HANA Cloud service set up as well, right? And that they also have access to the Business Application Studio. So can you just tell us a little bit about what each of those individual components are doing and what they're for?
Sure. So first of all, as you can see, you do a data warehouse cloud setup, which means you are creating a user in data warehouse cloud to make feasible the access for any external application. So what we do is we create this user in data warehouse cloud and connect to the database using Business Application Studio, pointing to this user. And this is exactly an UPS, a user provided service, which the user that's being used for this configuration is the user created in Data Warehouse Cloud for
Gotcha.
exposing data. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned also, so you've got the database details here. So this first part takes us all the way through, and then the next part is the setup on BTP, right?
Correct. In any way, you have to link or to map the BTP account to the Data Warehouse Cloud tenant. So you have to do this mapping and then exactly select when you're going to deploy your project, what is the space that you're going to use. And then you point to the BTP space for that. So you're linking Data Warehouse Cloud and HANA Cloud.
So we've got all that set up now. So the next
Yeah.
thing in the README is moving to development, right? So using the Business Application Studio to do what exactly?
Yes, in Business Application Studio, you will configure your YAML file to connect to that UPS, which will connect you to Data House Cloud data, and also set up the space where you're going to deploy the project, which is the BTP space in Cloud Foundry. Yeah.
Ah, okay, I've got you. Yes, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. So yeah, no, exactly. So you've got the space in Cloud Foundry. But what are we doing here in the Business Application Studio? Is this where we, for example, could create a CAP application from scratch, or we could actually import this Git repo, right? You've already provided a sample schema, and also let me just go to the top of the page. Actually, you've got your schema in here. And you've also got something that will sort of consume that schema. Let me go back again. Where are we? In the serve folder, we've got our service definition, right? So when we're building this CAP application, how are these definitions being used?
Yes, you got the point. You can follow the step-by-step and create that, or if you import the repo, then you have this code already available for you. But what we do is basically we are using a bidirectional example about how to consume data from HANA Cloud and Data Warehouse Cloud, and also Data Warehouse Cloud to consume data from HANA Cloud. So they can swap data bidirectionally. And that's why we have exactly two services. The first service is HANA Cloud consuming data from HANA for Data Warehouse Cloud. And the second example is Data Warehouse Cloud consuming data for HANA Cloud. So we've made a complete example.
My goodness, this is amazing. This is like wheels within wheels. There's so much goodness to be had from this repository. So what else have we got down here? We've got the documentation and the step-by-step approach for the development environment. But then this is, okay, so this is where we're talking about the consumption of the Data Warehouse Cloud view in the CAP project. And then a little bit further down, once we've deployed that, let's talk about the deployment. Okay, so this is about deploying it to that Cloud Foundry space that we, an organization and space that we previously defined in BAS, right?
Exactly. Then we use the standard commands. We export and build and create serves and push. So everything that you do in all CAP projects.
All the usual stuff.
Exactly. And what we did there is we created an OData service, which is exactly exposing this Data House Cloud's content.
Fantastic, fantastic. So there's a lot. Oh, there, and in fact, there is the service page for the OData services, OData services to OData services. Actually, the inbound and the outbound, as it were, that we can see that's been generated here, right?
Yes, correct.
Fantastic. So there's a lot to take in this repository. It's such a rich seam of information. So this is the final question now, what would you recommend our viewers to do first? Read the blog post series? Do you think they should dive straight into this? Where should they start?
Yes, they should start reading the entire blog to understand the overall context. And then we have this second blog, which is specifically about how to interchange data. Yes, exactly this one, which is about interchanging data between HANA Cloud and Data House Cloud. Because this is something we can see many companies, customers, and partners asking us about how to do that. And this is the concrete answer and example about how to implement that.
Perfect. What a fantastic way to end. That's exactly. Customers are asking for this. You provided that. So, Chris, thanks so much for giving us a bit of an overview.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your contribution. Like DJ said, there's a lot to take in. It's quite a robust repository. Thanks a lot.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you.
See you next time.